Hello and Happy New Year! How's everybody doing? It's already January 4th. Did you have a wonderful New Year celebration perhaps? I know the weather was a little bit odd here in Iowa that canceled some plans. We had some ice and very cold temperatures on New Year's Day and a little bit of a snowstorm. So we had our first, what was really maybe our first, I'm looking outside to see how major the snow was, but it wasn't very major at all. But it was our first snowfall, and I feel pretty lucky that we made it all the way through December without much in the way of snow. It was very icy on New Year's Eve though, so if you guys live around here and you happen to be out, you probably noticed that. So say hello as you pop in today. Let me know that you're here and watching, and tell me what you did for New Year's Eve. Or not even what you did. Tell me if you made it till midnight. That's what I want to know. Did you make it till midnight on New Year's Eve? Did you? I don't know. I was almost there. I made it till 11:30, but it's obviously not that important to me to stay up until midnight, or I would have waited that extra half an hour. But hello, Vivian. Oh, Heather's here today, and Michelle. Hi, Kyra. Cool day down in Texas. Tina's here, and Deneen. Bright and sunny and still chilly in Kansas. Yes. Awesome. Well, good to see all of you guys. Hi, Brenda. You were in bed by 11. Yes. Well, then you can watch the ball drop. Well, I don't know what time zone you're in, but usually when our kids were younger, we used to pretend the ball dropped really early so that they would just go to bed and think that they stayed up really late. Look, it's midnight already. And it was like, 10 p.m. So anyway, good to see everybody. I love seeing so many of you here. Let's see. Oh, Sandy, you had fireworks in your neighborhood. Wow. We don't do fireworks on New Year's Eve in Iowa because, well, maybe it's just our neighborhood. I don't know, but it seems too cold to be outside doing fireworks, at least in these parts. So, hi, Linda, Chris, and Barbara's here. Awesome. Oh, Sally, you made it till 11:45. Now that is just right on the cusp. Did you try to make it till midnight and you just couldn't? Dozed off slightly before? It happens. It happens. Hi, Gail. And Joan made it to midnight. That's the first one I've seen. The comments are going by pretty quickly. So maybe some others made it till midnight. But Joan, you're the first one I see that actually made it till midnight. Hi, Shirley. Celebrated at 9 when the ball dropped in New York. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Hi, Kathy. Oh, David's here. And Annabeth. Hi, Linda in frigid Chicago. Whew, burr. Trisha says, it feels like it's been forever, and I feel a little bit like that too. It does feel like it's been a while. It's going to be a strange week this week. I always think that during the Christmas season, like now that I've had a day off each week for the last 2 weeks, it's going to feel weird, like working the whole week. But luckily for me, I get to do what I love, and I get to hang out with you guys, and I get to share new products, and so it doesn't seem like work. So anyway, hopefully you guys are getting back into whatever your routine is. Maybe you started some New Year's resolutions, maybe not. Maybe you just started some healthier habits. We don't have to call them resolutions, right? I am on board with the healthier habits. I got myself a water pick for Christmas. Does anybody have one of those? So you like spray your teeth with it. I think it helps like gums and I don't know. It's probably gross to talk about, but I'm pretty excited about my water pick that I can use at night. So that was one thing that I'm starting new in the new year because I haven't done a water pick before. But what about you guys? What are you starting new in the new year that you're excited about? The other thing that I'm excited about, I think I told you guys that I decided to do something that I wanted my resolutions or my healthy habits to be something that I was excited about. And so one of those was getting a massage every month in the new year. So I booked my first massage in January. I think it's at the end of the month. So I have a few more weeks to wait to anticipate, but that will be something to, I guess, just keep me excited every month to go and relax and get a massage. So oh, Rachel, you have a water pick. Gave it to your son who has braces. Yes, I bet those are helpful when you have braces. Hi, Rita. Oh, snow day yesterday, no school today. Oh, hi, Letitia. You placed an order earlier, did you? I gotta know what you wanted. What caught your eye? So we have tons of new Valentine goodies. You guys see them up in the top of the screen there. So we released this morning at 9 o'clock. I know we don't have much time to wait. After Christmas, it's right into Valentine's Day because as hand makers, as creators, we need to get a head start on these projects. We can't wait until February 13th to make all of our Valentine cards. So we are ready with new Valentine products and I can't wait to share them with you. So I am going to get this party going and bring you guys down where you can see the screen in front of me. Feel free to keep asking questions as we go conversing. You can converse with each other. You can chat with me. I am just going to get a few things moved around as I pull stuff together to share what's new. So most of the samples down in front of me here are from our latest Create in Quad design. You guys are loving those Create in Quad stencils that allow you to blend. Oh, sorry, that was my drink cup. Thankfully, nothing was in it. I was saying the Create in Quad stencils that allow you to blend 4 panels at one time and then simply cut them twice to get those 4 different card panels and create some really beautiful designs. So I have a little bit of everything. I have a little bit of Valentine, a little bit of vintage, a little bit of bright and fun. So this is also a quad that could be used throughout the year. It doesn't have to be just for Valentine's Day. That's what I love about Valentine's Day. Hearts are forever. There's no seasonality to a heart. You can always tell someone you love them. All right. Let's see. Oh, Deb. Deb says she looked and looked for new items yesterday and then remembered it was Monday. Bummer. But Tuesday came soon enough. Here we are with lots of new goodies. So before I share what's new for the Valentine release, on January 1st, we released our 100 plus item that comes free with orders of $100 or more, and that is the Good Hearted background. So that's this one here with the pretty hearts. There are some that are solid and some that are outline in this fun pattern. And the wonderful Jill Hawkins made a few projects for us. She did this cute one that has the background embossed in white embossing powder over our cherry pop cardstock with the Hello Crafty Friend sentiment. And then Jill is known for her love of Big Grumpy. So we have this one that has the background stamped in a gray color. So that looks kind of like, is that mushroom? Jill's not here to answer me, but that looks kind of like either Earl Grey or mushroom in the background. And then she colored in some of the outline hearts with pink Copics. Introverts unite separately in your own homes. That's what we do as introverts. All right, so that is free with an order of $100 or more during the month of January. Now let's talk about our bundle deal for this release. This is our, where did it go? I know it was here. Here we go. So this is our bundle deal for this particular release. This collection was illustrated by Heather. She did these adorable donuts. And the thing I love about donuts is they're year-round too. So you don't just need them for Valentine's Day. They'd be great to, I'll be giving teacher gift cards to Dunkin' Donuts and using this set to decorate the gift card holder. So I'm excited about that. The collection then includes these 4 products, the Donut Days Cling and Clear Combo. So it has the rubber background with the cling stamps to decorate the donuts, to fill them in with whatever frosting color and sprinkles that you want on top. Then there's also a couple of sentiments in there as well. And then we have the Donut Days Stencil, which fills in the white space between the donuts with sprinkles. And then we have the Donut Days die that cuts out each individual donut. I know a lot of our customers like to grab more than one of these because then you can cut out multiples from the background at the same time. And then last we have our mini strips Donut Worry. So lots of sentiments that go with the donut theme. Treat yourself, wishing you the sweetest birthday, sprinkle kindness, you drive me glazy. Every time I read that one, in my head is the song, you drive me crazy, or she drives me crazy, something like that. Eat more whole foods, I like you a whole lot, thanks a whole bunch. Went a little crazy with the whole pun, but I love that one. And donut worry, be happy. Vicky says, I never met a donut I didn't like. Vicky, I am with you on that one. We eat a lot of donuts and we have a favorite spot. And my favorite donut at that shop is actually called a cronut. And it's like a croissant and a donut got married and had a baby, and it was a cronut. And they're wonderful. They're so amazing. Okay, so here are just a couple of cards. When you purchase this bundle of products, you get access to an exclusive class. It's a craft along class with Heather, and you'll be creating this card and a few tags in the class. This is absolutely adorable. I love it, Heather, if you're still out there watching. Such cute colors that she used, and you can also find when you purchase the bundle, we have listed out the colors that Heather used on her projects. So if you want to craft along with Heather and make sure you have the exact colors that she's using, you can find those in the description for the bundle item. And then we have a cute little card that Jill made, and we're actually going to be doing something like this on the live today. So when I first came out with the idea for these products, my thought was I want these donuts to look like they're in a box. And so this item is not in the bundle, but this is designed to go with the donut set. It's our box top stacklets. So you can see how Jill used those to create the outline, the look of a donut box with a clear lid in the top, so you can see those decorated donuts underneath the clear lid. And she went a step further and made hers into a shaker, which I am going to show you how to do a little bit later in the live today. Oh, Amy likes maple bars. And Charlie, I know you're a big fan of Hertz donuts. We don't have Hertz donuts in Ankeny, but I do love to go the distance and find myself a Hertz donut. Hertz donuts are so fun to look at too. If you guys haven't, if you're in Iowa and you haven't been to Hertz Donuts, they do all kinds of crazy decorating. You can get like a mint chocolate chip donut and I don't know, Marge Simpson donut. I feel like they had that one time I was there. All right, so we have already kind of talked about the Creating Quads layering stencil. If you haven't seen these before, this is our innovation to use one large stencil and create 4 A2 card panels using this one set of stencils. So there are 4 stencils in the pack, and you use a large piece of paper. So we have our Creating Quads paper packs that are cut perfectly sized to fit inside the etch lines. And then you can switch your ink colors and switch your stencil layers and create these beautiful card panels. This one is a set that Emily Midlowski created. She's got this up on her blog today with the color combo that she used. It's so unexpected. I love this color combo. Love it, love it. So it is actually, I believe it's plum punch, strawberry milkshake, candy corn, and lollipop. And it looks so good with the gold and a little bit of a pop of black. She also used the sentiments that were designed to coordinate well with the Creating Quads. Of course, you can use them with other things as well. This is the Love and Hugs stamp set with the coordinating dies to cut out those words. So most of the Creating Quads cards will be using that Love and Hugs set. You can also find other sentiments to go with these panels. These beautiful vintage cards, I call them vintage, but maybe that wasn't Heather's intention when she created them. But I feel like they just look vintage because of the beautiful gold glitter paste that she used. And this is Tailored Expressions Happy Medium in gold. And you'll notice it has a little bit more of a copper orangey tone to the gold, which I love. I think it makes it look, gives it that vintage look. Then she used the 2 colors of red. I'm going to guess Cherry Pop and Mulled Wine, along with her signature sugar cube and some gold foil hearts that she die cut out of the foil cardstock and adhered. So I love those. Very striking. Very, very pretty, Heather. Great job. Okay, and then we have, I don't know why I only have 3 of them here. The 4th one must be escaping me, but this is the set of cards that I created on our YouTube channel video that went out today on the blog and in the newsletter. So I used guava, watermelon, blue raspberry, and poblano pepper. There's a 4th card somewhere, but you get the idea what I was going for here. And I actually used the patterned hearts from our set that released last year. It's called Hearts of Plenty Cling and Clear Combo. And I used just the clear stamps to create those patterned hearts over the top and add the little words in as well. I was really pleased to find that several of the products that we already have actually coordinate really well with our Creating Quads hearts. So that stamp was one of them. And another one is our heart stacklets. So the shape on our heart stacklets is really a good one, a good match to this particular heart style in the quad. So that is Creating Quads. Let's move on to one of everybody's favorites. We have new Gus and Gertie making their debut. This is Gus and Gertie Best Buds. We have Watching the Stars, Laying on the Moon. One of my favorite sentiments. My girls and I always say to each other, love you to the moon and back. And then the other one responds, love you more than that. So I love including that little sentiment. It reminds me of my kids. Then we've got the bike riding Gus with the Gertie on the basket, and then the plane with the 2 seats. So super cute. And this, I was telling John, so this sentiment down in the bottom says, thanks for being my ride or die. Do you guys know what that means? Because I do, but then I showed it to John and he was like, I don't know what that means. So hopefully, thanks for being my ride or die. That just means thanks for being up for anything, for whatever I want to do, for being spontaneous and being willing to do, you know, whatever the fun thing is that we decide to do. So that sentiment actually is hilarious. I saw a meme the other day and my friend Jamie sent it to me. It says something like, I'm not a ride or die chick. I have questions. Where are we riding to? Why do I have to die? Do we get to have food along the way? I thought that was so funny. So anyway, just some reasons why I put these sentiments in here. Okay, good. Vivian says, yes, I do, and John isn't hip. I will be sharing that with him tonight. John, sorry, you're not hip. Julianne wants to order Gus and Gertie. Yes, they need an add all button. I have actually thought about the add all button before. However, the number is kind of scary sometimes, so I don't want to scare you all if you do want the whole release. Some of the releases get a little large, but let me show you this card. I'll bring it up a little bit closer. This is what Heather created with Gus and Gertie. She stamped the background with the linen background stamp, which I think gives it such fun texture. And then the other thing that you'll notice are these cute little wooden stars. And if you participated and purchased our advent calendar, then you should have those in your collection. So there's Gus and Gertie. Now we have another little bundle of fun products. We did a couple of themes this time. So donuts was one of our themes, and then light bulbs is the other theme. So this one is called Love Lights, Stampin' Stencil Combo. So the background stamps the little strings that connect the light bulbs along with the filigree. And then the stencils, there are 2 of them, have the heart bulbs on them. And of course you could get more creative and you could do more than 2 colors like Emily did on this card. So she just masked off the openings in those stencils or used bitty blender brushes to create all the different colors on those. I love how the background she embossed in silver, gives it some nice shine. But if you want to, you can also get that same shine from the foilet panels. So this matches the same artwork as the stamp, and the stencils will work with the foilet panels. So imagine this foiled in gold or foiled in silver would provide a really fun sparkle for your light bulb project. And then we can't do light bulbs without having some sentiments to go with them. So we have lots of punny sentiments in the mini strips Watts Up set. You're brilliant, I love you a watt, you're electric, you light up my life, etc., etc. Oh, Vicky says, hubby's a retired electrician, so this is perfect. Let me show you one more option here. This one is from Jill Hawkins. A really unexpected color combination. I really like this one. I think it's peaches and cream and lavender glaze. So she did foil the background. If I can catch the light with it, you can kind of see that pretty foil. And the foil is actually teal, so that matches her sentiment with that foil design. All right, moving along. Another one of our favorite critters. We have Chip and Charlie. So Chip is I think Chip is the raccoon. That's what I was thinking. And Charlie is the bird, but maybe you see it the other way. Anyhow, Chip and Charlie are making a comeback. We have one other Chip and Charlie stamp and die combo. So you get the die with the stamp set. And here's a sweet little card. I believe this is an Emily card, or is it a Jill card? I think it's Emily Midlowski made this one. And since she used this lovely sentiment here at the bottom, that gives me a reason to show you these. These are our new Simple Strips in Reverse panels, and they're pre-printed. They are toner printed, so you can foil them just like she did on this project, and then die cut them with whatever Simple Strips die you want. So there are 3 different Simple Strips dies that cut out different, some of them cut the flagged ends, some of them cut the asymmetrical edges, and then we have one that cuts a rounded edge as well. So there's Chip and Charlie. Next up, we have a great basic for all of your Valentine projects or even anniversary or general love themed cards. These would be great for wedding cards and anniversary cards throughout the year. This is the Stitched with Love cutting plate, and if I hold the sample up here, you can see that the lines in between the hearts are actually stitches, and then the hearts themselves cut out, so you can put whatever color you want to behind it. So you can see Emily did this one with the strips and a rainbow color combination. So all the way from pink down to purple. I love it. And then of course the pop of black to set off all the different colors. And then Emily also made this one with this is Autumn Array from last fall that we released. It's a stamp and stencil combo, and she made it into a spring color combination. I think that's so clever to find uses to make things more versatile throughout the year, and so I love what she did with the spring array and then popped it over the top of that Stitched with Love cutting plate. All right. Let us talk about one more item, and then we're going to get started crafting together. So this is the last new item in our release, and there's some new Happy Medium gel colors. So this is our glitter paste, and it is a hot pink color and a purple. So perfect for Valentine's Day. This is a close match to our Jelly Donut and this to our Lollipop. And if I open it up here, you can get an even better view of that pretty pink color. I think I know you guys don't fall out of your chair if you're sitting down, but I think the purple might be my favorite of the two. It's sort of it's an interesting purple. It's got a little bit of blue tone to it, which I think is why I like it. So Rita, you go right ahead and place another order. Please do. The shipping team is busy in the back today. The orders are rolling in. Everybody's ready to move on from Christmas and get started with Valentine's Day. So let's get started with I'm going to do some donuts. And I wanted to show you, this was my purpose for creating today, was to use these box top stacklets to show you how to create what looks like a donut box on your card front. And we're going to do a shaker card out of it. So I've got my clear stamps set up on blocks here. We're also using these for the make and take at the studio today, although they're making a little bit more simplified card than what I'm going to do right now. I know, Heather, the purple. I like the purple. It's crazy. Okay, let's grab a piece of cardstock. Place it down here at the bottom. And I'm going to ink that up with the chocolate truffle ink. So if you're not familiar with Tailored Expressions inks, we have both dye inks and hybrid inks. Our hybrid inks are Copic compatible. They're also waterproof, so you can watercolor with them. And chocolate truffle is one of our hybrid inks. So if you wanted to color these donuts in with Copic markers, you could definitely do that using the chocolate truffle. I chose the chocolate truffle just because it's a more natural color for a donut than black. So that's why we're going with the chocolate today. And it sounds yummy. And I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'm hoping you guys don't hear my stomach. Amy loves the pink. Vicky's on Team Purple. Shoot me a comment, Team Pink or Team Purple, as in glitter paste. Team Pink or Purple, what's your favorite of those two? Okay, now I have picked out, I guess we have 4 colors that I'll be doing. 5, I guess, because I'm going to do a little bit of sprinkles with the chocolate truffle. So I'm going to start by using this. Let's use the toffee piece first. So the outer edge of the donut, I'll lift this up so you can see better. The outer edge of the donut would be something cakey colored. So I chose toffee, and I'm going to ink up the outer ring and kind of find, let me see if I can get in real close for you guys so you can see how I line these up. As you kind of turn that, you can see it fall into place with the lines of the stamp. I like to get my head over the top of the stamp, and I just kind of hover until I feel like I have it in place. The great thing about our ink is that it may look a little, we'll just say splotchy, I guess, for lack of a better word. It may look a little splotchy when you first stamp it, but as it dries, it is going to blend together and give beautiful coverage to those clear stamps that often stamp more splotchily. Let me show you what I mean. So this is one that I finished earlier, and you can see that it's beautifully colored as compared to this one that is still looking splotchy. So give our ink a little bit of time, and I think you will be in love with the way that it kind of melds together to create beautiful and consistent stamped colors. All right. Now I'm only going to do the whole donuts for the background because I don't need to waste time doing all of them, but if you were not going to cut these out and you planned to use them as the full background, then of course you would want to stamp the partial donuts as well. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Okay, I'll get you guys out a little bit farther and we will move on to the next color. Let's see, Gina Marie. Unrelated question. I love it when you guys ask for things that I already have ready for you. So I'll just put your question up here. So Gina Marie is asking, will we be creating a stencil stand for the mini slim dies? So the answer is yes, we will. And we are actually waiting for a container to arrive. You guys, I can't even tell you how frustrating it is to get products from overseas these days with the congestion at the ports and things just not coming as quickly. We have had, I know there's been lots of questions about our Biddy blender brushes, and those shipped, just to give you an idea, at the end of September. And we are now in January, and they have been at the port since November 20th, just waiting there. So anyway, we do have lots of new things planned, and we are doing our best to get as many things in as quickly as we can. But to answer your specific question, yes, there will be new products for storing your mini slim, and I'm not going to tell you what the other ones are, but they are equally as amazing as the one that you just asked for. Okay, we're going to do one more of these guys. Angela's asking if the Love Lights stencil will be available separately. It will not. We're only going to sell those as a Stampin' stencil combo. Just the foilet is available as an add-on purchase. All right, let's do all three of these last ones with the lollipop. And then we're going to put some sprinkles over the top of this lighter pink. So I'm going to do that with the chocolate truffle. And I've got my sprinkles stamp. All right, now one of the things that I would like to do is add some Glossy Accents and sugar cube glitter. Let me show you this beautiful sparkly glitter that we have. It has a lovely iridescence to it, and I want to add it over the top of some of these donuts. But first we need to die cut them. So I'm going to bring in my die cut machine. Now the reason why I'm die cutting now is because I don't love the idea of sending pieces back through my die cut machine that have glitter and glossy accents on them. Sometimes the glossy accents can get a little bit mushed, I guess, from going through the pressure of the die cut machine. I think this is maybe the wrong way. Let's put the bad pad on the bottom and the slightly better pad on top. All right. Now you can see why it might be nice to have a couple of these dies if you want to be able to cut out multiples of the donut at the same time. Cut out a couple more. You do have to position them kind of away from each other. So this one and this one, if you're cutting more than one, you can't put them right next to each other. You have to move over just so they're not donuts that are positioned right next to each other. Oh, you guys, sorry about that. We're like way zoomed in on the donut. Good question, Cindy. So for the class, we list the inks and cardstocks, but she's asking what is the thin frame that Heather used on the project, and that is called the A2 thin frame cutting plate. And it cuts out various size frames, all the way from the large A2 size down to the smallest that we could get it within 1/8 inch increments. No, Debbie, you wouldn't want a mushy donut. So we're going to glitter these after we die cut them. I think I have enough of them die cut, so I only need 6 for my box of donuts. All right, let's do a little donut decorating. Pop out the middle of the donuts. Those two are already decorated. So we're going to decorate a couple of these. And I'm going to be using, like I said, Glossy Accents, and I'll be using our Sugar Cube glitter. So I'm going to start by putting Glossy Accents all over the donut. Probably should have picked this up before. I need to go find a tweezers. I'm getting a little bit closer here so you guys can see. Now when I apply Glossy Accents, I like to, you see I'm going kind of in a circular motion, so I'm gently pressing with my fingers so that I can get the Glossy Accents to come out. And then I'm moving the Glossy Accents around in a circular motion as I apply. That kind of gets out any of the bubbles. It makes a nice consistent glaze, if you will, for your donut. Let me go run and grab a tweezers really quick. All right, so a tweezers and a piece of scrap paper is really helpful here. I'm going to take that tweezers and clip it onto my donut as much as I can. Then let's open up. Woo! Am I making you guys dizzy? Hello, Karen. Karen Late Chamberlain. She says Late is her middle name, but that's okay. So while the Glossy Accents is still wet, you pour the glitter over the top and you have this lovely glittered donut. Now when it all dries, you can brush off the excess glitter that's kind of showing around the edges here. But for now, we're going to set that aside. You could also, if you have a big container, a big enough container of glitter, you could also just dip the side of the donut into the glitter. We're going to set that guy aside. And then I also love how it looks with just the Glossy Accents and no glitter over the top. You could also play with doing any of our colored glitters, the purple glitter, the pink glitter. We have a lovely lollipop shade of glitter. Let's go ahead. Where did I put my Glossy Accents? Here it is. So we'll take a look at this application of the Glossy Accents one more time. And then we'll move on to creating our little box, our shaker that looks like a donut box. All right. Ooh, you know what? Deneen just gave me an idea. Hold, please. I'm like, I don't know, I'm getting all the ideas. I'm like Hertz Donuts over here with my decorating. I thought, couldn't it be really cool if we put these on top of the donut? So I went and grabbed, these are our rainbow sprinkles, and they are small enough that I think they will stick on the Glossy Accents pretty well. Let me grab my piece of scrap paper back here and we'll sprinkle over the top. This is going to be fun, coming up with all the different things we have in our collection. Ooh, girls. Oh, a little bit. Oh, yes. Okay, that's my favorite one. We also have some heart-shaped sequins that could be really fun. You could get even crazier with this and just put the sprinkles everywhere, but I like how it's pretty, you can still see the glossy accents. It looks shiny. Oh yes, Charlie said the other ones that actually look like sprinkles, well, why don't we use those too? They seemed maybe like they might be a little bit big for the size of the donut, but I am all up for experiments. So let's cover this last one with glossy accents, and then I will run and grab the other sprinkles and see what that looks like. I'm using up my whole bottle of glossy accents. So if you plan to do this, grab another bottle. I love these little bottles. I don't know if they sell them anymore, but we don't carry them because the big bottles were always a frustration to me. They would always get clogged before I could use the whole bottle. So I just buy the little guys. Okay, let me run and grab those other sprinkles. I think these are the ones that Charlie was talking about that look like actual sprinkles. Maybe I might have to place those more strategically, or maybe I can just dump them and see what happens. All right, here goes nothing. Ooh, that's a long sprinkle. I think I'm gonna pull out. Apparently this one didn't get cut down, so I don't think that's gonna work. Let's do, maybe if I just take a few and start to, yes, oh, this is fun. A little bit of donut decorating today with Taylor. And these are the no-calorie donuts that we all love. All right, we're gonna go with one more orange one over here if I can get this guy to cooperate. Come on. There we go. Also very adorable. So here we go. That one. There was one other thing I wanted to try. Will you guys bear with me? Okay, so this one I did already put glossy accents on, so it's dry. Well, do I have another one I could do? Not really. Maybe we'll try this one. Let's try this guy. So I'm going to put some glossy accents on this one. And we're going to try the tiny diamonds next. So I brought the tiny diamonds to use as my shaker element, but I wanted to show you guys what they might look like as a sprinkle. So these are the tiny diamonds. I think somebody mentioned these. We have them in bold and we have them in pastel. The colors in the bold match the colors that I chose for my ink. So this is strawberry milkshake, this is lollipop, and then maybe I'll do a few white ones too. Maureen says, could you cut up the sprinkles to make them even smaller? You certainly could. So yeah, take those sprinkles out. You could cut them with if you have like a little X-Acto knife, just leave them sitting on your table and kind of X-Acto knife them in half. Or a scissors. A scissors might be harder though, because you kind of have to hold one end of it, and you can see they're pretty hard. At least with my long nails, I would not be able to get a scissors in there to cut them in half. So X-Acto knife might be better. If you want to cut them even smaller, you could. But I think they look cute like that too. Okay, so let's take a couple of these guys out, see if I can drop them on there. So that was the hot pink. Then we've got the other pink. And we'll do a little bit of white. Lauren says so many delicious ways to decorate. It's fun. Okay. So you could kind of take the end of your, maybe you've got a tweezers or a little pick and place tool that you could push them where you want them just a little bit. And now we have done, it was a donut decorating class. Let me pull all of them back in here. I gotta cap these tiny diamonds before I spill them everywhere. Charlie says use scented markers to get really crazy. I wonder if they have like donut scented markers. All right, so I'll bring them all back in here. We did one with those. I think these are called sprinkles. These are called rainbow circles. This one was the tiny diamonds. And then we had the one that just had the sugar cube glitter. And then here's one that was just glossy accents. You can see the shine on that one too. Anybody have a favorite? Everybody's got their creative juices flowing to see what in the world can I decorate these donuts with. So much fun. Okay, well, thankfully I did a few of these donuts ahead of time, so I am going to bring my dried ones out and we are going to create our little shaker donut box. So I have to move the wet ones out of the way and use them on a future project. And then I have some dry ones. I didn't go as crazy with the ones I did beforehand. Okay, so here I have an A2 piece of paper and I've already pre-cut my box top stacklets. So this is the largest size of the box top stacklet die. That's this one. And inside the box top stacklet die are 4 other dies. It makes the most sense for us to use up that space since they're etching this metal anyway. So those are just bonus shapes that you can use to create or maybe to hold a sentiment or something along those lines. All right, I have my piece of acetate that I'm going to place on the back of this die cut piece. I know I've mentioned this a bazillion times before, but whenever I'm adhering acetate, I like to use my tape runner if at all possible. Then I don't get that adhesive that squirts out onto the front of my window and makes a big mess of my project. So, Charlie, you crack me up. I heard if you take a bite out of the donut, all the calories fall out anyway. Too bad that can't be actually true. Oh, I've eaten too many donuts in my life. All right, let's get these in a good spot here. Kind of arrange my 6 donuts. This one I want with glitter. And then I'm gonna go with, do I have, I guess I'm missing. I want one more of those up there, but I don't have that. So we're gonna go like this. Not sure where all my donuts went. I used them all decorating. Okay, so I have my donut arrangement here. I'm gonna place this kind of over the top just so that I can see if they are where I want them to be. And then I'm gonna have to walk away from you again just a minute and get my trusty press and seal. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm gonna go grab my press and seal. If you haven't seen this trick before, then prepare to be blown away. Hopefully we've all seen this shared because it is very helpful. So grab a little piece of that press and seal and actually use it to take all the pieces of your donuts, keeping them right where you want them. Press down on the press and seal and it will pick up your donut pieces all together. And then this one has the hole still in the middle, so I'm going to take that out. Come on, booger. Does anybody else call their things booger when they don't do what they want them to do? Okay, then I'm going to take my tape runner and just run some adhesive on the back of each of these pieces, and then I can adhere it down to my panel. So they all stayed grouped together. Center it on there. Okay, I think I feel good about that placement. Before I really press them into place, I can grab my donut box and place it over the top. All right, I'm feeling good about that. So we'll press those donuts down into place so that adheres them to the white piece, and we can peel away and the piece is finished. Oh, good. Amy, I'm glad you learned something new today. Hold on for one more day. You guys are throwing out all the donut puns. Okay, so here's that box. I am going to build my shaker now with the Tailored Expressions foam sticky strips. So these are already pre-cut into strips. They're the perfect thickness for your shaker cards. I have some random small pieces and some larger pieces, and so we're going to place that around the outside of the opening. Scissors here. So what's something you're excited about in the new year? I know it's fun to reflect on what we've done, maybe what we've accomplished, what we've survived, what we've thrived in the past year. And it's fun to look forward to what are we excited about in the new year. I can tell you guys what I'm excited about. It's been on anytime anybody asks me, what are you excited about? I'm not sure if you were here during my last lives of the season, but I mentioned a big thing that's going on with Tailored Expressions, and it is coming to fruition in the new year. We have started work on a brand new building, and we will be moving into our new building hopefully come July. Those of you who are able to make it to our in-person Stamp Joy event, we're going to have new tours of our new building. Okay, that never happens. Did you guys see that this piece that I already had randomly pre-cut fit perfectly right there? That doesn't happen very often. Oh, yay! You guys are excited for Stamp Joy. Oh, Kathy's daughter's getting married in May. That's an exciting time. Terry's going to see her oldest son in Alaska. A new grandbaby for Brenda. Oh, so fun. All right, lots of good stuff coming in 2022. Hopefully this is a good year for everyone. Okay, we're going to take off the backing paper from 3 sides of our shaker element. This is how I like to build my shakers because it is simple to fill them. And we're going to place that over the top of our donuts. Oops, it's not quite where I wanted you to go down. All right, so we adhere those 3 sides, and then if you look at the top here where we didn't pull the backing paper off, you can see that you can just create a little bit of space there and pour in whatever you want to use for your shaker bits. And I mentioned earlier that I wanted to try using the tiny diamonds as the shaker bits. Just a few of each color. They'll look like sprinkles inside. That was my thought. We're doing white and hot pink and whoop, the strawberry milkshake. Some of them escaped there. All right, now if we seal that up, we can start shaking it around. So cute. Oh, I love it. What do you guys think? It'd be even more fun maybe if you don't do the shaker bits, but you could still do the acetate to make it look like a donut box and then put in all kinds of crazily decorated donuts. I cannot wait to see what you guys decorate these donuts with. Now that we've had our donut decorating class, I expect to be awed at your ideas. So hopefully you had fun with this. It would be really cute to do a little sentiment from our mini strips just right over the top of the donut box. Maybe put a gift card on the inside of the card for Dunkin' Donuts, something like that. So all right, super cute. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for tuning in today. And here, let's get you back here so we can say farewell. Okay, awesome. Thank you again for coming by today to check out what was new for our Valentine release this week. And I will be back next week again on Tuesday, so mark your calendar. We have another release to help with Valentine treat giving and a little something special for the kids. So you might see my girls popping on. They are getting older and enjoying getting creative with mom. I used to have to kind of twist their arm to get in videos and do stuff like that. Now they think they're YouTube stars because they do one video a year, but this is their shining moment. So they will be back to share our kids Valentine card kit next week, along with some cool stuff for giving treats and other candies and sweets for Valentine's Day. So I'll be back for that, but in the meantime, Heather will be here on Thursday at 10 a.m. and she'll be sharing something from a previously released Valentine collection that she illustrated, and I can't wait to see what new things she does with it. So I haven't gotten a sneak peek yet, but I have confidence it will be nothing short of amazing, because everything Heather does is amazing. So tune in, Heather at 10 on Thursday, and then I will see you guys on Tuesday. Until then, have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.